Most people think that expensive extruders outperform cheap ones. But is that really true? And let me tell you, the results shocked me. But what even is this HGX extruder? The simplest way I would explain it, imagine taking a BMG extruder's gears and making it chunky, but at the same time thinner. So you end up with a so-called large gear extruder. But the thing is, it doesn't come nicely pre-assembled like the VZ Hextrudort. It kinda comes in pieces, like a BMG kit. And one of my favorite things about this extruder is all the community support. There's a reason the Voron community is so big. This extruder has so many kinds of different mods, like the Proto Extruder NX Hummingbird, and the like Tsunami Extruder, and the list just goes on and on. I've personally gone with the another HGX 2.0 extruder, which is basically a Hummingbird extruder, but completely stripped down to save on weight. And that brings me on to the first comparison. Which extruder do you think is lighter? Let's start with the Hextrudort, 38 grams. Alright, pretty light, right? And now comes the HGX, 38. So you're telling me that both of these weigh the exact same amount? Well, that's a draw, so points to both of these. Well, now comes the next test. How much can we push each extruder? So, pretty much how much filament it will be able to extrude per second. But there's a problem. Which 3D printer should I use for the testing? It's going to be this Ender 3v2. It's going to just get slightly modified.
Several days later.
So embarrassingly, it took me 2 weeks to upgrade this printer because the Raspberry Pi got completely fried. Definitely not my mistake. And well, I had a lot of alignment issues and my prints were failing. I printed even the wrong thing. But anyways, I got all of that working and now let's test. Second test. We are going to test extruder deviation. What that advanced word basically means is that if I extrude 100mm and then I revert back 100mm, the closer the number is to it to the original, the better. But to make that as simple as possible, I would preferably take the extruder off, because we don't even need the hot ends for this test. First up is the HGX 2.0 extruder. So for some reason the footage got lost, but I realized that basically there was no deviation at all, which basically means that without the hot ends both extruders were very reliable. So let's just skip over this test. So now the actual second test. So right now I will test the flow rate. Usually this is a hot end test, but this is also perfect for testing the both extruders. So as you can see, this is how it looks, and I'm going to use PLA to benchmark it. Stuff is happening, and I'm also thinking of getting all this into a graph so it all looks really nice and so you can understand it easily. Alright, second test complete. I wonder how both of these extruders will compare. Anyways, let's get VZ Hextrudort on. Well, now I've got Hextrudort on. Well, I was actually quite surprised by the results. I thought that it was going to be a draw, but it wasn't. The Hextrudort actually outperformed HGX at the same temperatures, so it was basically able to extrude more at the same temperature. Interesting, right? Well, currently Hextrudort is leading the race. Now we're going to test the max reliable extrusion without the hot end. So just the extruder and see how much filament it can push before it grinds or skips. I've been doing quite some testing with this and pushing it to 1000mm a second. Look at this. But the thing is, when it was at half of that, 500mm a second, it was pretty much the exact same speed. So it seems that the limit here is the stepper motor, not the extruder. Because I mean, if that's longer lengths, it extrudes really well without any problems. So let's see if the Hextrudort will perform the exact same. Well, I'm seeing a very similar thing with this extruder, because well, I'm running this one at 1000, but it doesn't get faster the more you increase that speed. It does indeed seem that the stepper motor is the limiting factor. So I ended up printing these two spiral vases in vase mode, and what these basically do is they test the quality of the extrusion, right? This will be the first quality test, and well, of course, one's printed with the Hextrudort and the other with the HGX. Let's get these under extreme lighting. Alright, I've lined up both. I don't know if I'm able to get a good shot. Well, I just created a lamp out of it.
Are you serious?
I hope you can see this, but okay, well, I can't show it with the camera, so I'll show it with an image. But basically, what's interesting is that these Hextrudort Hextrudort lines are like more straight compared to the HGX ones. It's a very small difference, but the HGX ones feel a bit more closer to like fuzzy skin, but you have to look really close to even be able to like spot the difference. The only reason that HGX would win this contest if you prefer a fuzzy skin, but Hextrudort seems to like make more reliable line, so I guess the Hextrudort wins this one. After having done this very scientific testing, now comes the next test, that is retraction. So we'll see if there's a quality difference between the two extruders with the exact same retraction. So let's go. I'm also using PTG for this test, which is known for being a little bit stringy. I have completed the testing, and well, beside that the Hextrudort for some reason made this weird line. You know, I mean 3D printing, you know, stuff happens sometimes, but besides that, I mean, I have an image right here. The retraction quality is like the same, like it's literally the same. There is like no difference in between them, so I guess that's a draw. So now for the final test, just like pure quality. So I'll print the benching and I'll see which of those both have better quality. The exact same settings, the only difference, the extruder. I've printed both benches now. What's interesting is that the VZ one for some reason has a completely messed up top, but not the HGX one. But at the same time, the first layer of the VZ looks way better than the first layer of the HGX. And as you can see on the image, there's also like a few minor quality differences between both of the benches. You can see the hull line on the HGX compared to the VZ. But besides that, there isn't too much noticeable differences. This test concludes that both get a point. And this was also the last test, which means that the Hextrudort won. And I have to say, at the beginning of the video, I was a little bit biased toward the HGX because it's like 4 times cheaper and I do like budget stuff. Anyways, my verdict of this is, if you want a fast, reliable and good quality extruder and you're not afraid to spend a buck, I would definitely suggest the VZ Hextrudort. But if you, for example, have like a tool changer system and you don't want to spend enormous amounts of money, then you could possibly maybe have like multiple of the HGXs. Like for example, the like dual ender conversion made by, I forgot his name. For this printer, I would definitely keep using the VZ Hextrudort. And I'm also planning to get like a multi-filament system in here. Also, for all my good old viewers wondering why this video took like 2 months to make, I definitely didn't get like distracted by like all the AI stuff that was happening in the meantime. But anyways, besides that, I'm fully back on the releasing video schedules. So now I'll make some banger videos. Also, if you're interested in buying the extruders, check out the affiliate links in the description. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, you'd probably also enjoy the time when I converted an Ender 5 into a fully modern IDEX printer that can print 2 colors at once, or well, 2 filaments at once, quite fast. Pretty much even like faster than like bamboo filament switching speeds. But I also had a lot of small issues, like for example the fan duct accidentally exploding. So go ahead and watch that.